Hugh Hefner. I didn't know I was playing Hugh Hefner. The director said, I want you to stand here. He got these three nice-looking blondes to stand as close as they could to me. And this may surprise you, but I didn't protest. And then he said, I want you to put a pipe in your mouth. And I said, why? He said, I want you to look like Hugh Hefner. And I always thought I was much better looking, but it didn't matter. So, I know Hugh Hefner, by the way. Next time I'm here, ask me about Hugh Hefner. But so I put the pipe in my mouth, and then Tony Stark is supposed to walk by behind me and say something like, nice going, Hefner. He keeps walking. And I'm supposed to turn around and look when he does that. So with the pipe in my mouth and the girls practically on top of me, I hear, nice going, Hef, but I go like that, and my pipe hits the girl over here right now. So if you ever see that movie again, you'll notice I'm not holding the pipe in my mouth. The director took it away. You see, even the simplest little things have a story behind them. Thank you, thank you.
Why did you start writing comics?
Why did you start comics?
I had to make a living. I told this story earlier to a bunch of people, so if any of that bunch of people are here, you can do something else for a few minutes. What happened was I was looking for a job. I had gotten out of high school. I had a lot of little ridiculous jobs. I had been an usher at the theater in Times Square. I was an office boy for the second largest trouser manufacturer in New York. I delivered sandwiches for a drugstore. But anyway, I heard that there was an opening in a publishing company. They needed an apprentice. So I ran over there, and this company published men's books and romance books and sport books, all kinds of subjects. And I found out the opening was in the comic book department. I didn't even know they published comic books. So, by coincidence, the two guys running, the only two men in the department were Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, guys who created Captain America and so many other things before that. And I was hired just to help whatever they needed. And in those days, pens had ink. I had to fill the ink wells. I ran down and got them their lunch, ran upstairs with it. I erased the pages, stuff like that. And after a few months or so, they were let go. And the publisher came to the office and he saw me there. I was the only guy left. He said, first he said, who are you? But he didn't, I wasn't the guy, I was in pally with the publisher. But he said, can you hold things down until I hire a grown-up? Well, when you're 18 years old, what do you know? I said, sure, I'll look after things. And he never hired that grown-up. I think the comics was so unimportant then, I think he forgot about me. So I stayed there and I became the head writer and the editor and the art director of these little comics that nobody was paying any attention to anyway. But as the years went by, I got a lot of great artists and a lot of great writers. We got together and we stayed in business and the company got a little bigger until that magic day in 60-something when we did the Fantastic Four. But that's a story for another meeting. I tend to give overly long answers to these questions. Maybe I should try to shorten them a little bit.
Well, I do apologize to everybody else in line. We have time for one more question.
I think you're a cool guy.
He thinks you're a cool guy.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
My question is, why is Hulk green?
Why is the Hulk green?
Interesting question. And I'm now going to tell you something that the outside world may not be aware of. When I decided to create when I created the Hulk, I wanted a monster who was a hero. See, when I saw the Frankenstein movie, you know, the one with Boris Karloff, I always thought the monster was the good guy. He didn't want to hurt anybody, but those idiots with torches were always chasing him up and down the hills. So I thought it would be fun to get a monster who's a good guy, but nobody knows it. Then it occurred to me that, what am I going to do with him? You just have a monster running around? I got to add something to the story. So I remembered Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I said, what if he turns into a normal man who turns into a monster, and the monster hates the normal guy, and the normal guy hates the monster? That I thought was interesting, so I had that set. Then I said, well, what kind of costume will I give him? Because the one thing I knew, from all the fan mail we received, the superhero fans loved costumes. So I thought, I can't have a monster make himself a costume. How do I justify that? But I have to do something to satisfy the fans. So I thought, I'll give him a unique skin color. That'll be like a costume. And I decided to give him a gray skin. I thought gray would look dramatic and scary. And he had gray skin in the first issue of the Hulk, if you read it. But the printer couldn't handle the color gray as well as I wanted. On some pages, he was dark gray. On some pages, he was light gray. And his skin didn't have the same color all the time, the same shading. So, being in charge, I said, I'll give him another skin color. You know, the editor of a comic book company is like God. You can do anything. So I looked around. I thought, what color is nobody using? I couldn't think of any characters who were green. I said, I'll give him green skin. And that's how it happened, as simply as that. To print gray better than he could. He'd have been gray skin. Well, I think green turned out better anyhow. And the next time we get together, I'll tell you all about the inner workings of the Hulk psyche. But that, we'll save that. I want to make sure they come back.